a little bit of help goes a long way.
Welcome to Money Talks Life Lessons. My name is Melissa McGuire, co-host and co-founder of Isle Wealth. I am here with my fabulous co-star and co-founder, Joanne Caban.
I feel like I should start singing Guess Who's Back? Only some of you might know where that's from.
So today we are here with Darcy Faulkner of Comfort Keepers Parksville. We're having a super timely conversation about what it looks like to age in place. Why don't we start it off with you? Why don't you tell us how did you start Comfort Keepers? How did you get into this business, and what does this need look like for you in this community?
Okay, so thank you for that. I am a registered nurse, probably 40 plus years. I have always had an interest in seniors care. I was the most recently director of care in one of the facilities in Qualicum. I was there for many years. During that time, many people would come up to me and request, please let me go home. So I basically feel like starting Comfort Keepers 8 years ago is listening to that request and putting out good care into the community for people to actually stay at home. Comfort Keepers today is quite a large, small business. We have 50 plus caregivers in the community to help.
Just Parksville?
From Qualicum right through to Nanaimo and across to Port Alberni as well.
Wow. Okay.
So we are mid-island, Vancouver Island. We have 6 great people in the office looking after everything, including an RN and an LPN. These people are the ones that look after the caregivers, meaning that care plans are written for each client and then follow-up is done on a continuous basis. Once we have a client, we follow them. The caregiver will let us know if something's of note and we need to come back in and adjust the care plan to their needs. Seniors, as they age, change. It is not a static job that we have. It's a moving job all the time. Right. And adjustments must be made all the time. And there is the ability to put good care in place. The fact that there is a registered nurse, a couple of registered nurses in this company makes the world of difference to the professionality that we offer.
I can imagine.
So I've been doing this for 8 years now, and we love what we do. Yeah. I love what this company is doing in the community, and I just wish more people would know about us.
Well, we're excited you're here so that we can kind of expand and share your story out with a lot of our listeners and our clients because, we just see this as an evolving need in society, and we come across so many different individuals who have a different idea of what aging with care looks like, and some people aspire to be in a luxurious retirement home. Some just want to live out their days in their home that they love and they have all their family memories in. So I think it's great to be able to provide an option, provide companionship, and I know we're going to talk a lot more about it as this episode goes on, but really excited to hear about the great work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
So as is normal for us, we have a list of questions that we'd like to ask you.
Absolutely. Fire away.
So I'll kick it off. So we're thinking about supporting people as they want to stay in their homes. We want them to age in place. We also want to make sure we're looking after the caregivers so that they can look after their family members who are staying in place, right? It's a very complex, as you said, always evolving situation. But when you start from the beginning, when families or caregivers do start reaching out for support, what concerns or emotions do you hear most often from people?
Usually people, when they're calling us, they're in some sort of crisis. They're coping to a certain point, and then all of a sudden they can't cope anymore for whatever reason. The crisis is usually what brings them to us. There's a lot of emotions attached to
Right.
crisis
Yeah.
because they're not sure where they're going and what's going to happen at that point. So listening to this, whatever the problem is at the time, and figuring out a road forward from that point is really what we do straight off the bat. The earlier people come to us with requests for care, the better off everybody is,
Right.
because a little bit of care, and I'll probably repeat this quite a few times, goes a long way.
Right.
And we avoid crisis situations just because of our presence in the home.
Can I ask, what do you mean by care, right? In terms of what you provide, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself on this, but I mean, care can be a lot of different things, as you alluded to. You know, there's an emotional side to care. There's the physical side of things. Like, when you're talking about care, if you could just give us a general definition for now, that would be really helpful.
So we have a general definition of care is 4 mainstays, and that is mental, the mental side. The mind has got to keep moving.
Right.
The activities, puzzles, music, everything to
Yeah.
stimulate the brain. The local news, whatever's happening in our world today. Then there is the physical aspect. So that is keeping the body moving, making sure that that person can actually walk from here to the post box and back again, because when you're not around, they're going to have to walk around by themselves
Right.
as well. If they are sitting in a chair the whole time you're there, that's not a good thing.
Right.
And seniors do tend to be a little bit more sedentary. So that's number 2. Number 3 would be nutrition. Nutrition is absolutely vital for these people as they age. The tea and toast mentality is not going to get them anywhere. It's going to help them go downhill faster. So getting good nutrition in on a regular basis is so important. And then there's safety. So those are the 4 mainstays of care that we promote.
That's
Okay.
super helpful. I actually wouldn't have thought about the safety piece.
Safety is, the risk of a fall is devastating for any senior.
Right.
If they fall, there is a drop in their entire world, their physical, mental, in all ways. They can recover from a broken hip, but it also depends on how quickly they're operated on, how quickly they get through the hospital system. So avoiding those types of injuries or safety risks is what we want to do. Throw rug is a
Tripping hazard.
tripping hazard.
Right.
We can recommend that they pull up their throw rugs. There are other companies that will not come in if you don't pull up your throw rugs. But we just let them know that this is a risk. Would you like us to pull it up or not? And they can decide. I mean, it's their home. They love that rug. That rug's really
Right.
important to them. Okay, you just know that is a risk. Make sure you step over it well.
I love just even from the little bit that you've been talking so far about, I love the dignity that's afforded to people when they want to stay in their homes. I know, like, in my age category, for my generation, it's very much about looking after our parents, looking after our kids. And I've spent a lot of time reading about how to help aging parents and not treat them like our children and allow them to have the dignity that they have always had, and not take that away just in our urgent need to care for them. Right. And I just love that. It resonates well
It
with
is
me.
a circle of life, and you are ending up having to help your parents or your loved one, and in a lot of ways like a child, but they are not children, and we can never make the mistake of treating them like a child at all. They have the dignity, and they deserve respect from us for what they've done, from where they've been, from their life that they've lived.
I love that. I think that's amazing. It just we talked kind of about the four pillars of care, and one of the things that this kind of sparked in my mind when you mentioned that was we talked a little bit about mentally, right? Like that mental stimulation, and it drew me to think a little bit about the public care system right away when you said this, because for a lot of the clients that we've visited clients in the hospital, we've done those things. We've had family members who we've kind of assisted and seen them go through the public care system. And you've worked in it for many, many years. That's never really been something that I've seen or I've witnessed. Like, yes, there's usually some sort of park setting and we would wheelchair out and do those things so you get a little bit of the outside fresh air. But it wasn't that active notion that we need to stimulate mentally. It was more of here's your bed, here's your TV, like this is your stimulation. So I found that really fascinating that you said that, and I think this is a huge part of your service.
And it is task-based care is what you just described. That is task-based, and tasks don't take very long to do. But that's not the aim of what we do. Usually the phone call is we need the task done, but it's the doing of the task and how we do it. The government can go in and allocate 10 minutes for that task. The caregiver goes in and does the task for 10 minutes and is gone.
Right.
Where is the elderly person left sitting then?
Yes.
Right.
That's not care. That is completing a task. So care is all encompassing. With Comfort Keepers, my shortest shift is 3 hours. So you have time to sit down with that client and develop a rapport before you say, could you come into the bathroom now? We're going to have a shower. We're going to do a shower.
Right.
Take your clothes off. We're putting you in the shower. But there's time, and then there's time afterwards to make sure that they're warm, they're comfortable, they've had something nourishing to eat before the caregiver leaves. And the client is left feeling cared for instead of completely with their standing with their mouth open as that caregiver runs out the door for her next shift. It's hard on them.
Right.
But to me, care has to have time involved.
They're people. You're not just checking a box.
That's right. That's right. And they have emotions. They have feelings. Am I worthy of this person, helping me do this? I need to be respected. You need to do this at my speed, and my speed's not fast in these days.
Right.
So, it is all about respect. Really, it is. We also want to go in and do a task, which is usually what we're hired to do. Tasks with a client, rather than for the client.
Right.
So if we're doing washing, okay, we'll do the washing and then we'll ask the client, would you like to please fold these towels for us? Or how would you like me to fold the towels to put them away? Or would you like to, collect your laundry, your personals? Would you like to put them away? And so then when the daughter comes in later in the day and says, what did you do today? Well, I did the laundry.
Right.
She can own the fact that she's done a part of it,
right?
But it is that she's done it. Or the person with arthritis in their hands that can no longer roll out the pastry or peel the apple. We can do that piece, but then the end result is the apple pie that she is her signature dish.
Right.
And there it is sitting on the counter when the daughter walks in later in the afternoon. I made a pie.
Right.
It's her joy of being able to still accomplish these things even though she hasn't done all of them,
Right.
all of the
Amazing.
whole task. You know, sometimes these people just need to live a little bit. We have a caregiver and a client. They go golfing,
Oh, nice.
and he
Fabulous.
sits in the cart, and sometimes he gets up and has a swing at something, and if it goes somewhere, it's good. If it doesn't matter. But he loves it. Waves to all the people. Everybody knows him, and he is getting joy out of his life still because he's able to go golfing.
Right.
What a way to switch the narrative of what traditional care is,
Yeah.
right? Like just really bringing joy to that whole situation. And you were talking a few moments ago about you do tasks with your clients. And I feel like even if I look at what Melissa and I do for work, that's kind of how we phrase it. Like we don't say, you're our client, we're going to tell you what to do here.
We're a
We s-
partnership.
We are a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sit there, we're there to show you all your different options and say, hey, this is the one we would do with you. But what is the best for you and what do you think makes the most sense for your situation, right? So it's a partnership. It's something, a journey we're on together, which I really think sets it apart, what you're doing from everybody else that's out there. So, you know, we have quite a few conversations with clients as they age, and kind of the common narrative that we hear in our office is that a lot of them would prefer to stay in their home as long as possible. From your perspective and what you have seen, why do you think this is so important psychologically, emotionally, or when does it really make sense to maybe look at moving out of their home? I guess that's a big question.
Yeah, I mean, our homes are, you know, so important to each and every one of us. You know, we've chosen them. A lot of financial, you know, has gone into buying the home. A lot of emotion has gone into where the pictures are hung. I often say to my caregivers, if you're going into a home, take a look at what's on the mantelpiece, and it's a source of conversation. You can pick up those pictures that are there in their home because they're there for a reason.
Right.
This person has put things there that mean things to them. And if you just ask, they will tell you what those meanings are. So if you take away the home, you take away all of that meaning, all of that pride and joy and sense of self, really. You're taking away a lot. There are cases, as I alluded to earlier, especially with advanced dementia, where being in a facility is a great option for people. But other than that, staying at home is the best place for people, even with mild dementia, because they know where the bathroom is.
Right.
They know where the spoons are in the kitchen. They understand their routine there at home. And as soon as they move out of that environment, things get very, very difficult, especially for first stage dementia.
Right.
We had a client who aged at home who had dementia as well, and they were able to, you know, she had a heritage house. It was really beautiful. So like we used to go visit her in her home, and it was 3 levels, and she used to have her bedroom on the top floor. So what ended up happening was, because she loved her home, it's been in her family for generations, is they moved her bedroom into her living room.
Perfect.
So we had the living room there, the bathroom was renovated, the kitchen was there, and they kind of just blocked off the stairway. And so she was able to actually still, even with dementia, she ended up having more advanced dementia near the end, into her 90s. She was an incredible woman, but she was able to stay at home to the very end.
I just love that. I love that. And that is the kind of story that, you know, I would get right in behind. I love it. Yeah, stay in your home. And we can move the bed. You know, the
Exactly.
bedroom does not need to be on the top floor.
Yeah.
And we've done that many times. You know, somebody that is choosing to die at home, let's put you in the best room possible. You know, let's move you into the living room.
Yeah. Can I not to play the other side of that, because we do also have certain situations where there's a sense of loneliness, right? I mean, so I guess that when we have this conversation, I go kind of back and forth in my mind, because you have two different types of people. I often find is there's somebody who's maybe a little bit more extroverted. That's kind of like my personality. And then I think of my husband on the other side, who's more introverted. So like if he didn't have me wanting him to, like, pushing him to go outside, he probably would just live at home, right? Like he probably wouldn't need that socialization. And we hear of some people going to a care facility or a retirement home, and they're getting a more engagement than they would necessarily in their own home. Like, what have you seen in terms of that realm?
You know, in my different roles in my life, I absolutely agree with you that there are some scenarios that it is great for socialization to be going into a facility. You know, the things that improve when somebody arrives in a facility is the socialization,
Right.
and then it is nutrition. Usually, and then it is medications are given at the right time in the right doses. So those three things are very, very important. But we can do those in the home too, you know.
Right.
That is possible in the home as well. And it depends on how much care you have. Like if you have somebody in the house every day, morning and evening, you've got socialization, and you've
Right.
got a variety of different people, because if it's twice a day, there's going to be a number of different personalities coming in, and that sparks life. You know, that sparks different things to happen. And you know, some people will take them out for walks, and some people will play cards, and so there's that socialization is vital, and it's vital to their joy
Right.
in life. You know, when you're alone, that's lonely. When you've got people coming and doing things with you, you know, sparks joy.
And maybe depending on your personality too, you don't need as many people, right? So for like in your situation, like what you were just sharing, is maybe just having that care and that one-on-one time is even more valuable than maybe playing cards in a group of people, right? So it just
Right.
depends on the person, I would assume.
That's right, you know. Yeah, and I do know that, you know, the lovely, fantastic, you know, independent living places, once you get to a point where you can't look after yourself anymore, then you have to move again.
Right.
Yeah.
So in your home, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's a good point.
When you are progressing in that journey towards the end, you can stay there.
Thanks so much for listening and watching.
As always, you can follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, check out our new Instagram page. And for all things Isle Wealth, please visit our website, islewealth.ca, where you can see all of the fabulous videos and guests we have featured. Bye for now.
Corporate disclaimer. This podcast has been prepared by and with expressed opinions of Joanne Cabin and Melissa McGuire, and are not necessarily the opinions of Raymond James Ltd, RJL. Statistics, data, and other information presented are from sources RJL believes to be reliable, but their accuracy cannot be guaranteed. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for the sale or purchase of securities. Investors considering any investment should consult their investment advisor to ensure that it is suitable for the investor's circumstances and risk tolerance before making an investment decision. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Information provided in this podcast is general in nature and should not be construed as providing legal, accounting, and/or tax advice. Should viewers have any specific questions and/or issues in these areas, please consult a legal, tax, and/or accounting advisor. RJL is a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Raymond James USA Ltd. advisors may only conduct business with residents of the states and/or jurisdictions in which they are properly registered. Raymond James USA Limited is a member of FINRA and SIPC. We hope you enjoyed the podcast, and for more information, please visit islewealth.ca.